Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2022-2023, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 76 years of independence, India's G20 presidency, World Health Organization 75th anniversary, and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today, we are commemorating Guru Gobind Singh Jayanti. It is celebrated as birth anniversary on Guru Gobind Singh, and he was the 10th Guru out of total of 10 Sikh Gurus. On 22nd December 1666, he was born in Patna, Bihar, as per Julian calendar. So if you see, the dates keep changing as per Hindu calendar and other calendars. So there is a difference on these dates as per these calendars. So today is also celebrated as Falls Festivals history in Australia. It is usually ranging between December 28th and January 8th. It is a multi-day festival, music festival, especially held from December 29th to January 8th, and it is a multi-day music festival held in Lorne, Victoria, Marion Bay, Tasmania, Byron Bay, New South Wales, and Fremantle, Western Australia. While it's primarily called a music festival, there are many other types of artistic performance, such as dance, comedy, theater, circus, and cabaret. Music genres to expect include rock, hip-hop, indie music, electronic music, blues, and roots. For the 2022 festival, the Lorne event will be relocated to Pennyroyal Plains in Moron and will not return to Marion Bay. The story begins in 1993 with a small one-day concert held in Lorne, Victoria, named Rock Above the Falls. The first event attracted nearly 10,000 people, exceeding the organizers' expectations, and they had to negotiate the use of neighboring land to accommodate the crowd. The festival became a 2-day event in 1995, and the following year, the name was changed to the Falls Music and Arts Festival. 1999 was the first time the festival was not held at Lorne, being moved to the Torquay site due to bad weather. Falls Festival won the 2008 Faster Louder Festival Award for the best lineup, and the following year, the Marion Bay site received the favorite venue and location award. They have also been awarded the Excellence in Sustainability Victorian Tourism Awards from 2012, 2013, and 2014. Outstanding in the Greener Festival Awards from the same years, major festivals and events, Tasmanian Tourism Awards from 2013 and 2014, Major Festival Australian Event Awards 2014, and Victorian Live Event of the Year and Tasmanian All Ages Achievement at the National Live Music Awards of 2019. In 2013, the Baron edition of the event was introduced, increasingly the reach of the festival across the country. In 2019, the Festival of the Lorne site was cancelled due to extreme bushfire risk during the 2019 and 2020 Australian bushfire season. The Marion Bay edition of the festival was unfortunately cancelled permanently in 2021, with organizers citing low revenue from the event. So the first event is a small one-day concert held in Lorne, Victoria with that name. It becomes Falls Music and Arts Festival in 1996. So single day tickets cost around 189 Australian dollars, while a 3-day pass costs somewhere around 379 Australian dollars. You need to be 18 years old to go on your own. Minors must be accompanied by a ticket holding parent, responsible adult guardian, or nominated eligible adult guardian aged 25 or older. So in Berugura, a town about 40 minutes inland of Lorne, this Falls Festival has been held in 2022. While the lineup is different each year, you can expect Australian lizards such as Crude Colors, Fundamentals, or G Flip. Musicians from other countries such as Vampire Weekend, Banks, Young Blood have been in previous editions as well. So hidden beyond behind a laundromat front, if you crawl through the third washing machine, you'll find a secret rave party. It may sound like an Easter egg from a video game, but it's very much real, and it continues even after the festival has officially wrapped up. So dance at the Brian Bay rave party. Beyond the music, the first one includes art camps, afternoons, fancy dress themes, and a massive parade. The latter is festival within a festival with yoga sessions, samba classes, circus workshops, puppetry, burlesque, and comedy. Approximately 13,000 people attend every year. Almost all of them camp on site. It's unpowered car camping tent sites. They are either within a walking distance or a short bus ride away. All locations have nearby beaches. It is one of the oldest national festivals since it started in 1993. At the time of writing, it's almost 30 plus years old. In Marion Bay, it's common that it rains for 10 minutes during the festival, only for the wind to push the clouds away and unveil the beautiful sunshine. The 2022 lineup was almost all Australian. This was a plan for the cancelled 2020-21 edition to bolster the economy, and they may try it again. Many people get most excited about the international musicians, while national ones can end up ignored. So, thankfully, these kind of events allow for both of them to get support, no matter your preference. The village and falls festa take place during the day with comedians, art camps, yoga classes, and more. And at night, the music begins, and some events even go past midnight. There are family exclusive camping areas and activities aimed at kids, such as face painting, beauty parlors, playgrounds, and sea views. But as you know, many others aimed at adults, so it doesn't become a drag for the parents either. Today is also commemorated as TikTok Day in US on December 29th every year. This day serves as a reminder that the year is coming to an end, so get around to finishing pending tasks on your to-do list. With the holiday season beginning in November, it is only natural that life becomes super busy and a lot of work gets pushed aside for later. Maybe you wanted to clean up your home or you got to figure out your plans for the New Year's Day. Whatever the task, TikTok Day is a reminder that there's only 2 more days left of the year and you would be better to get around to the finishing task you need to. Thomas Roy, an American film, television, and voiceover actor, was the creator of TikTok Day together with his wife Ruth Roy. The couple also came up with 80 special days, which are the chase calendar of events. One of those is TikTok Day. The day reminds people to get down to work on all the things they meant to accomplish before the year ends. At the beginning of every year, people make resolutions for the new year, taking the opportunity to really to look at what they want to change about themselves and their lives. And throughout the year, they put in the work, but things slide when things get busier. And nothing is busier than the holidays from November. Holidays are back to back from Thanksgiving to Christmas, keeping people busy with planning and preparation from beginning of November till Boxing Day. TikTok Day lets you relook at pending tasks, try to see how many of those things need crossing off the list. While TikTok Day is an opportunity to tie up on loose ends, it is also time to look at what tasks go into the new year and what should be crossed off the list entirely. Today is also commemorated as Still Need to Do Day in US. As the Christmas rush is over and you could be feeling calm, so what's the subtle itch deep inside you? That's one that's tugging at you, haunting you, reminding you that despite all this holiday successes, you will still never fix that leaky faucet like you said you would. So lucky for you, the year's not over yet, and there is a fact, in a fact that a day tailor made for you on December 29. Don't forget to take advantage of the still need to do day when the folks across the country will use the remaining time they have in the year to make some final checks on their year long to do list. The downtime between opening presents and banging pots and pans, consider what you can get in 24 hours in this December 29th. Whatever you choose, do it. The most important part of still need to do day is to simply get it done. To make that happen, the most important and most difficult part is to just get started. You may not want to, you may not even know how to, but getting started is the first step and only step towards getting it done, as basic as that sounds. So you get 2 days left in the year and one day dedicated to getting things done. It reminds us we are not alone. It increases well being, it enhances the holiday spirit. Today is also commemorated as Pepper Pot Day in US on December 29th to celebrate a soup that was nicknamed the soup that won the war. The war here refers to the American Revolutionary War for independence from Britain. The Philadelphia pepper pot soup is a thick soup made of whatever vegetables are available and, of course, peppercorns. This peppery soup has a long history and probably originates from the Caribbean. It was brought over to America by enslaved people who later sold the soup out in the streets. The Philadelphia pepper pot soup was not unknown before the Revolutionary War of American, as also known as American War for Independence. This thick soup made of fried vegetables and seasoned heavily with pepper would have been brought to the US by people enslaved from the Caribbean islands. The soup was made popular by African American Philadelphians who would sell it right out in the street. The traditional recipe is said to have had cassava as well as the soup thickener. According to the popular retellings of the story, the pepper pot soup became the central to the American Revolutionary War efforts because of the Christopher Ludwig. He was a baker general of the Continental Army and a German immigrant to Philadelphia. The baker worked in Philadelphia, which is likely how he knew the food of the city. He was a staunch supporter of the American Revolution and was a great friend of President George Washington. Christopher Ludwig was even given a certificate of conduct due to his service to the army. His efforts were invaluable and appreciated so much that his certificate was handwritten by the President Washington himself. During the war in 1777, the winters were harsh and the farmers refused to sell food to the Continental Army. Instead, sold it to the British. Christopher Ludwig was a baker general, which meant that his primary task was to bake bread for the troops. But in this scenario, with no grain to eat in sight and faced with the prospect of starvation, George Washington put Christopher Ludwig in charge of feeding his men. And Christopher Ludwig presented the pepper pot soup. This soup was what the army ate to survive that winter, and it's how it earned the nickname, the soup that won the war. The pepper pot soup was the only food the Continental Army could get their hands on in the winter of 1777 to 1778 in the Valley Forge. During that time, the army trained and emerged better and ready for battle. The soup is delicious and a vital part of Philadelphia's history, so people still enjoy it. Today is also commemorated as Mongolia Independence Day in Mongolia on December 29th. Is a great glory and happiness for the Mongols who gained freedom after years of being the Qing China rule. Also known as National Revolution of Freedom and Independence Day, this day commemorates Mongolia's autonomy. This day is all about showing love for Mongolia, raising national flag, dining out, and of course, viewing some awesome fireworks. And this year, step up your game and celebrate the amazing day like never before. And after all, country's independence is something that should be cherished and applauded till the end of the time. Mongolia had been under Chinese Qing dynasty rule for quite some time. However, due to several differences with Chinese rulers, the Mongolians craved a state of their own, like any other nation that is taken over. The biggest problem Mongolia experienced was the fight for the retention of their culture, which was slowly being replaced by the Chinese way of life. During the 20th century, the fire for independence grew and the Mongols started to take action to free the nation from the Qing dynasty. In May 1911, the Xinhai Revolution overthrew the Qing dynasty and established the Republic of China. Seeing that the Chinese had problems of their own, the Mongols utilized the opportunity and managed to free themselves from China rule. On December 29, 1911, Mongolia officially declared its independence from China. The spiritual leader of the Tibetan Buddhists was proclaimed the head of the state. He was given the title of God Khan of Mongolia. Unfortunately, Mongolia was the only able to maintain a few years of peace and freedom before Chinese returned to Mongolia and forcefully occupied the capital city. In fact, the Chinese also pushed the Mongolian government to sign a document that forfeited their autonomous status. At this point in time, Russian Bolsheviks stepped in to aid the Mongols. The Outer Mongolian Revolution took place in 1921, a revolution that was fought with the help of Soviet troops. After the troops reclaimed Ulaanbaatar from the Chinese, Mongolia was declared independent once again. From 1921 until 1924, Mongolia worked to establish a new government. In the name of security, the Qing Empire offers protection to the northern Mongols to create outer Mongolia. Mongolian revolutionaries drive out Chinese and fascist forces with the support of Redan. A relationship is established with the People's Republic of China, and a railway is built across Mongolia linking Russia and China. Mongolia's new constitution prioritized human rights and freedoms. Mongolia gained independence on September 14, 1920. After the collapse of Qing dynasty, Mongolia gained independence from China in 1911. It is also referred to as Outer Mongolia. One third of the snow leopard population lives there, and endangered snow leopards. Remains of dinosaurs were found in the Gobi Desert. Mongolia has 13 times more horses than humans. The 131-foot tall statue is the tallest one in the world and pays tribute to Genghis Khan. The Golden Eagle Festival is held yearly for 2 days. The day highlights why it is important to love the nation, since it took many years for Mongolia to achieve complete freedom. We think that's worth appreciating. Mongolians fought for their own land in order to retain their culture, and the day places emphasis on the importance of one's culture. Celebrating Independence Day is important. It reminds Mongolians of all the efforts and sacrifices that were made to ensure Mongolia became a free state. Today is also commemorated as International Cello Day. All cellists unite for the International Cello Day on December 29 about celebrating culture and music aficionados. The cello is bowed string musical instrument with 4 strings turned for perfect harmony. It looks like a large violin, which one can play while sitting down and holding it in between their legs. This day is celebrated not only by cellists but also composers, conductors, and music fans as well. This day also observes the birthday of renowned cellist Pablo Casals. So, International Cello Day is notable day for all cellists around the world. All cellists and composers band together in memory of one of the most well-known musicians and composers. Composers band together in memory of the most well-known musicians and composers of all time. Pablo Casals. Casals was born on December 29, 1876 in El Vendrell, Catalonia. With the teaching of his father, he was exposed to the world of music. At an early age of 4, Casals learned to play the violin, piano, and flute. With his love and interest in all these instruments, he entered the Municipal School of Music in Barcelona and learned to play the cello. Casals has been named the greatest musician ever to draw bow by Fritz Kelser. a known violist and the composer. Casals became legendary in the music industry and the whole world in early 20th century. When he made a name for himself, he performed as a soloist with different orchestras. He enormously added the field of music. He is most remembered and acknowledged for his recordings of Bach cello suite, which he created and rediscovered in the later half of 1930s. Before this, many cellists regarded them only as exercises, while some did not believe it was a real published piece of music. With the new revelation and popularity, music was never the same. There was an influx of the suits recordings. All cellists suddenly had to know suits, and more composers created works based on them. The Pablo Casals Festival is an event that runs for 2 weeks, and all artists and musicians around the globe are invited. It continues to run today and celebrates the conductor himself, Casals. One obvious thing that makes cello unique is its size as bigger compared to another or other instruments in the string family, such as violin. People who have tried both instruments tend to say cello is less difficult due to its more natural push. Experts say that the best age to learn to play the cello is from 6 to 7 years old. A person who plays the cello is called a cellist or a violoncellist. Castles rediscovered and recorded Bach cello suites which made in the later 1930s. Studies show that a person that has better mathematical and scientific skills, since there is a cognitive improvement when you master the art of playing the cello. Classical music increases the listener's IQ. It has been scientifically proven that every person who has listened to the classical music has better mental skills. This is, in fact, especially when they compare it to those who listen to other forms of music. Today is also commemorated as Constitution of Ireland in Ireland on December 29th. Every year, on this day, Ireland celebrates its ratification. Constitution set in place makes the country a law land. So without a solid constitution, it becomes a lawless land. This is very document that decides the rights of citizens, the proceedings of the court, and the laws that country follows. Since Ireland's constitution is within the tradition of liberal democracy, it is definitely something that needs to be celebrated. Since its independence, the Constitution of Irish Free State was a document used to govern the country. However, in 1937, this was replaced by the Constitution of Ireland since the Statute of Westminster 1931 granted parliamentary autonomy to the 6 British dominions. The Irish Free State Constitution, on the other hand, was associated with the controversial Anglo-Irish Treaty, which many had opposed. The new constitution further dismantled some previous acts, and the new and improved amendments were added. The Constitution of Ireland is a symbolic document that changed everything into Irish as well as the English. This was done by recognizing English as a second official language in the Constitution. Among other things, the Constitution of Ireland granted women the right to vote as well as the right to citizenship on equal basis with men. Article 41.2 states that the state recognizes that by her life within the home, a woman gives to the state a support without which the common good cannot be achieved. The state shall therefore endeavor to ensure that mothers shall not be obliged by economic necessity to engage in labor to the neglect of their duties in the home. Furthermore, the Constitution of Ireland guaranteed freedom of worship and forbade the state from creating an established church. Articles such as these have a great impact on the perception of citizens over a period of time. Moreover, the Constitution also decides all legal and other human rights commitments made by Ireland, including treaties under the United Nations, the European Convention of Human Rights, and the Charter of Fundamental Rights of the European Union. The Irish constitution is called Bunraj na Éireann. This is a legal document that sets out how Ireland is governed. The constitution was initially drafted by John Herney. To truly celebrate the constitution on Ireland, search for a documentary that gives a complete account of how the document was formed, who created the text for it. You are bound to learn many interesting facts. The constitution is for Ireland, so why not show your appreciation for the country and all that is accomplished over the years? Invite family and friends to designated fireworks spot and launch some beautiful fireworks. This is an activity people of all ages can enjoy. Ireland's population is 4.9 million. It is the only country in the world to have a musical instrument, namely the harp, as its national symbol. There is a place in Ireland known as Mukang Herdir Dauhulia, which is the longest name. Ireland is named after a goddess that existed in their ancient history, Eriu. River Shannon is the longest river in the country. So it informs peoples of their rights. The day is important since it celebrates the Constitution of Ireland. It stands as a reminder of the numerous rights provided to the people. The Constitution of the day ensures that justice and provides an outline of how country will run. Hence, the Constitution of Ireland greatly affects the country's laws and order systems. The day gives a historical outline of when the Constitution of the country was formed and also learn more about why certain rules and regulations were formulated. So with this, we shall end the commemorations today. So see you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night. Before leaving the platform, we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form. And these are the last days of English New Year. So there might be many resolutions which you have taken in this year, which have been not yet fulfilled, or at least you can turn out into the New Year's resolution and retrospect on what happened and what could have happened or how they could have been achieved, at least in the coming year. Taking resolutions is a very easy task, but implementing them is a difficult task unless and until we are committed, dedicated, and motivated. Internally, it is difficult to achieve, but still we can keep trying to achieve this thing. So thank you, everyone. See you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night.